Good afternoon. So today I was asked why I personally give to NTEF. And it's because poverty and homeless are personal issues, literally, and they don't always look the way you think they do. So when I was a young child, I remember very specifically standing in line for the free bread day at the bakery with my mom. Sometimes we would wait hours for the stale, day-old bread. However, it got us through the week. Other times, I remember getting the generic food bank cereal, and my mom, rest her soul, would pour Tab Cola on top of it because we needed as many calories as we could get because we didn't know when we'd have our next meal. Later in life, I really thought I had escaped this insecurity. But as an adult and 2 young children of my own, food and housing insecurity struck again. My family has always valued education. In fact, I want to mention that my mom got her master's degree from Berkeley at the age of 18. Had nothing to do with education, why poverty comes about. For example, my husband, who pursued postgraduate school and his doctorate, found himself for 4.5 years living out of his car under his coat in Oakland, California. Why? Because student loans don't allow you to purchase or rent a house in Northern California, and his doctorate was too important for him. So he'd send home the $700 extra to me. I was living in a different city because I could also not afford with 2 young kids to move, and he'd literally hide under his coat, sometimes avoiding gunshots. Then we moved here, and it struck again. We thought we'd come to Thurston County and have an easy time finding a place to live. We both had job security. He was starting as a doctor associate at a clinic here. We found ourselves for 20 straight days battling the elements at a campground while we both tried to work. What we did not realize was that there are some serious housing barriers even for working, educated parents. Sometimes this includes needing 3 times the monthly rent and income. To put it this way, our landlord was asking us to have $9,000 a month to rent a 900 square foot, $1,800 a month home. This was literally impossible. And this is why I give to the North Thurston Education Foundation. The need in our community is real. I'm not sure how many of you came from your car and maybe had that little complaint of, oh my gosh, it's blustery, cold, and wet, and this weather. Well, cold weather shelters are currently not open. So I want to say that I'm really grateful for my warm coat and a warm shelter and a warm place. As a mother and educator, I also know the sincere importance of milestones. From that very first day of kindergarten to the moment a student walks with their cap and gown on. No child should ever be the stinky kid because their family cannot afford soap or deodorant. No student who has managed to get their high school diploma while living homeless should be denied walking because they can't afford a cap and gown. And no child should have to face a Washington winter without a warm coat, socks, or new shoes. Or as my kids used to call them, their fast shoes. Because if you've ever been around a 6-year-old, those brand new shoes are like gold. And they go around the class and they zip, 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 and I'm sure my retired teachers remember this, right? They run around because they have their fast shoes. These are simple items that make you ready for school and ready for life. So why do I give? Because every child needs more than things that help them survive. This is beyond survival. They actually deserve dignity. They deserve the confidence to walk through school doors knowing they belong. They deserve a full belly that helps them learn, a coat that keeps them warm, and social and emotional support that allows them to thrive and fit in. If you are not aware, look at the stats on your table. There are numerous kids moving in and out of low-income hotels right now, never knowing where they're going to go next. It is confusing for them, and it's more than just survival that they need. When we give to the North Thurston Education Foundation, we aren't just giving money, we're giving stability, hope, and a sense of belonging. We are giving kids the chance to dream beyond the limits of circumstance, and that's why I give. I really invite you to think about how wet and cold it is outside, and think about us as a community. We deserve to give them their milestones and their dignity, and I do want to implore upon every one of you that poverty and homelessness is not always what you think it is, or how you think it seems or looks. Thank you.